Hello students, myself Maratushde, your English helpline on the go. Today I shall discuss a lesson from Moments, which is taught in CBSE curriculum of Standard 9. The lesson under discussion today is In the Kingdom of Fools. Dear students, kindly visit my website after signing up with your mail ID and access the detailed contents of all the lessons of your syllabus, including NCERT solution, value-based questions, writing and grammar, spoken English, English for competitive exams, podcasts, newspaper editorials on current affairs, general knowledge, a library full of resources, and so on. The link of my website is given on your screen as well as in the description. Anyway, in this lesson, I shall throw some light on theme of the story at a glance, and recapitulation. So, dear students, let's begin. At the very outset, let me brief you about the theme of the story. The story highlights the fact that we should not fall prey to the traps devised by fools, nor should we believe the sweet-sounding words of the people blindly. We should be rational and logical in our approach to interacting with people on a day-to-day basis. If we follow others blindly, we may be victim. In the story, a guru decides to leave the kingdom of fools as the king himself made foolish laws which his subjects had to blindly follow for the fear of death. But the disciple did not go with his guru and got into trouble. With his guru's intervention, only his life was rescued. Let's find out how the plot develops. To begin with, strange laws in the kingdom of fools. Let us find out what are the strange laws. The king who ruled the kingdom of fools was extremely foolish, and he ruled with the assistance of an equally foolish minister. In order to be different from other kings, they turned night into day and day into night. They devised a strange rule for their subjects to follow. It was decided that their subjects should run their business only after it got dark. They should go to bed as soon as the sun was up. Anyone who violated the law would be condemned to death. Now moving on to the section when the guru and the disciple arrive in the city. One day a guru and his disciple arrive in the city. It was broad daylight, but no one was around. They moved around the town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its business. The two men, that is the king and the minister, bought some provisions at the grocery store and were amazed at how cheap everything was. Everything cost the same, a single dudu, whether it was a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas. A vast quantity of food could be bought for just a rupee. Now let's find out the guru's decision of leaving the kingdom. What is this all about? Why did the guru leave? The guru could predict that it was not safe to stay in the kingdom of foolish king and his minister. He knew that in the kingdom of fools there was no certainty of life. He told his disciple that the people living there were all fools and that their way of life could not last, and one never knew what they would do next. So he expressed his opinion that both of them should leave the kingdom. His disciple, who was fond of eating cheap and delicious food, did not oblige his guru. So the guru left the kingdom of fools. Moving on to the segment now where the king gives a strange verdict. One day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house, and as he was fleeing with the things, a wolf fell on him and killed him. The thief's brother went to the king and demanded compensation. The king summoned the owner and told him that since it was his vow that had fallen on the man, he was guilty and must be punished. The merchant laid the blame on the bricklayer who had built the wall. When the bricklayer was brought and accused, he laid the blame on the dancing girl who had walked by and distracted him from his work. The dancing girl laid the blame on the goldsmith who had made her walk to his house many times as he had not completed making the jewelry she had asked for. When summoned, the goldsmith put the blame on the rich merchant who had demanded his jewelry to be made first, as there was a wedding in the family. The king ordered the merchant to be put to death on a stake. Moving on to the segment now, when the disciple finds himself in a strange situation, in a tragic situation rather. The stake built to execute the merchant is too big for him. On the behest of the king, his man went looking for a man fat enough to fit into the stake. The disciple was eventually selected for the hanging, as he became fat on a cheap and rich diet and would easily fit into the stake. The disciple was brought to the palace for execution. However, he sent a silent prayer to his guru and rescue his life. Now let us know what happens when the guru arrives with an intelligent plan. The guru, who had magical powers, responded to his disciples' prayers. He arrived at the kingdom and shared his plan to the disciple. Then he pleaded to the king that as a guru is greater than his disciple, he should be sent to the stake first, and the disciple could be executed after the guru. But the disciple kept fighting with his guru for his execution first. Do you know, children, what happens when the king interferes in the fight between the guru and his disciple? The king was puzzled and wanted to know why the guru wanted to die. The guru took the king aside and told him that the stake was the god of justice, and whoever was the first to be executed on it would be reborn as the king of the place, and the next to be put on the stake would be reborn as the minister. He further added that he and his disciple became sick of leading the life of ascetics and wanted to be reborn as the king and the minister. What happens when the king and his minister die? Let's find out. The king did not wish to dispense with his kingdom on his next birth, so he postponed the execution till the next day. At night, he and his minister disguised themselves as the guru and disciple and were taken to the stake and executed instead. On learning that the king and the minister were executed, the people of the kingdom became worried and chose the guru and his disciple as their next king and minister. All the old laws were changed, and the kingdom was no longer a kingdom of fools. Before I wind up, dear students, let me recapitulate very quickly. In the kingdom of fools, the king and his minister were idiots. They changed the day into night and the night into day. Anybody who violated the rule would be punished. So people slept during the day and worked at night. One day a guru and his disciple came. They were surprised to see the strange scene. They came to know that they can buy anything for a single dudu. The guru realized that it will be good to leave this place while the disciple remained there. One night a thief died when he was stealing, as the wall fell on him. The incident was investigated, and finally the rich merchant was ordered to death by the king. The stake did not fit the merchant, therefore the king ordered to find a fat man for the execution, and the soldiers captured the disciple. The disciple remembered his guru and prayed to save him. Guru befooled both the king and his minister by saying that whosoever would die first would become the king in next birth. Both the king and minister agreed to die. After their death, people begged the guru and his disciple to be their king and minister. They accepted this and announced that the day would be day and the night would be night henceforth, and nothing would cost a single dudu. Dear students, that brings me to the end of the explanation of the theme and story sequence. For detailed contents, including NCERT solution, kindly visit my website, that is englishwithadifference.com. Kindly like, share, and of course do subscribe to my channel. Till I come up with another video, take care and thanks for watching.